Thanks again for joining us tonight. The CLS show. Marty Gallagher again joining you, CLS owner. We got Brad both here with us, and it's been an exciting last week. Obviously, a couple weeks, right? We're kind of, I would say, to the mid-season point-ish of the Cedar Lake Speedway season. Plenty of racing and excitement to come. But let's recap our Independence Day 410 sprint cars with the World of Outlaws. We also had the USA back. You're off the track. You're hoping here. You're hoping there.
Yeah, it's really fun. We've had, like you said, we had really good car counts. The fan count was also very good. I think by the stuff that we did on social media, the advertising and whatnot, I thought that drew a lot more people also this past weekend, which was really fun to see.
It was pretty good racing. We had the first night was the big winner was Brad Sweet, the big cat, I believe.
Yep.
And then in the traditional sprints, it was a tight race. I remember that, but it was the Nick Duranko, which he kind of, every time I see him on the entry list when he's signed in, I was like, yeah, he's kind of the one. He's kind of a ringer that shows up every once in a while, and he puts on a good show.
Yeah, they're all. I would say, as much as there are some guys that are actually a little bit more, have a little bit extra, edge to them. He's one of those drivers that has that. But honestly, I would say that he would probably also say too is that there's a lot of both men and women in that class that actually drive very, very well, have a lot of talent in that class, and it's pretty evenly matched.
The wing sprints for the Upper Midwest Sprint Series ended up being a pretty exciting finish.
Yeah, Chase and Mike Mueller, Chase Vibrock and Mike Mueller went right down to the line. They were, neck and neck, side by side for the last, goodness, I'd say 6, 7, 8 laps or something like that, from what I can remember, anyway. And Mike was on the bottom, Chase was on the top, and he was slowly reeling him in. You could just see it coming, but then I think when Mike realized he was there, of course, his right foot got a little more heavier, and his other left foot got probably a little heavier too on the brake, just to make sure he could hit his spot. But yeah, it was really kind of fun to watch, and of course Chase took his momentum off of turn 2 on the very last lap and just shot down to the very bottom of 3, and just kind of got his car in front of Mike and won at the finish line. So it was really close. It was really fun to watch both Mike and Chase battle. Yeah.
And then David Gravel, coming off of $250,000 at Huset's.
Yeah.
Shows up on Saturday night. He had a decent Friday night, but Saturday night picks up the win. But he was a bridesmaid so many times at Cedar Lake Speedway.
Yeah.
He was,
seven times.
Seven times
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He was pretty excited to finally put himself in victory lane.
Yep. He really worked really well on the very bottom. At Cedar Lake, the top was very, very dominant for the most part on the top of the racetrack there, of course, and all the drivers kind of went up there. And David's, I like guys like David or other guys that, I don't care who you are per se, but if everybody's driving the same position, well, obviously you either got to really put your nose in there or whatever else to kind of get them out of the way or bump them out of the way. Otherwise, I really like the guys that actually, or gals that go to the top if there's nobody up there on the top, or they go to the bottom. And that was the situation with David. David went down to the bottom and he just made it work. He just kept on working that bottom line and try to figure something out and find and searching for any kind of grip. And sure enough, he was finding it. He was digging it. He was making his own lane basically. And sure enough, with, I don't know, how many laps was it? I'd say maybe about 10 laps to go or a little bit less than that. Yeah. He finally made his pass, and it was fun to watch. Yeah.